Good morning. My name is Desiree Ferrer, and I am your analyst this morning. I'm sharing SPY. We're going to look at SPY and see where they closed at yesterday. Okay. All right. So this was yesterday's close. You can see here they tipped this resistance area, which is 393.76. It got rejected, and they started heading down. And now I'm thinking that we could possibly come back and test 384.67 because that is now new support. It stayed below 2 for 2 weeks. It stayed below this 200 MA, and then finally they broke it last week on Friday. So even if we head down there, that's okay. But what I would like to see us hold is this area here, 386.27. If they come back down to 384, all the way back down to 384, I wouldn't be surprised. But as long as they close above the 385.76, and that's good signs that, you know, more momentum up. They want to continue to keep going. All right, so let's take a look and see what the monthly looks like here. Just kind of get a big picture on it. Okay. So remember, this is your support right here. $376.67. So we're still above that number there. All right, and as long as we're holding above the 200 MA, in my opinion, we're still good here. All right, and also I do see the double bottom pattern forming here. So right now I still see that the pattern is good. I would rather like to look at this between 8 and 9 because that's when like the retail traders come in. You know, sometimes we get catalysts that affects the market. I do have the link below because I am live between 8 and 9, and I'm live in Discord. So if you're interested in the community there, definitely click on the link and you'll get all the information you need. All right, so here, that was a pretty big selling candle yesterday. Of course, we want to stay above this flag here. We got this big selling candle here, and then we kind of created these candles around this 200 MA, and it appears that we're heading up, but because we got this big selling candle, I would not be surprised if we went down just a little bit more. Again, it's better to see it around like 8 or 9 in the morning. This is actually new for me, analyzing this early, because I like to wait till the retail traders come in. All right, 386.31 is where it could come back down and possibly test. But if it can hold this 200 MA, that's even better. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like. Definitely holding the 200 MA here on the 1 hour. It did touch the top of this flag, but as you see, it's coming back and testing it as support. Because you see the breakout here, came back and tested it, kept going up, rejected this resistance wall, and now it came back down all the way back to this area where it broke out. And remember, this was the resistance area prior. So you had resistance, 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 and then finally the break. So you got the break above, came to the next resistance, rejected, came back down, testing this area as new support. I mean, it's holding as of right now. Let's take a look at XQQQ. Remember, SQQQ is just inverse of QQQ. So they're generally going the opposite direction. All right, so you can see here that we see this kind of pre-market yesterday where they broke this wall here. And you can see they fell through. And they did close below this bottom of this flag here. So this is your resistance right here. Yeah, they're still pointing down. I mean, this does indicate that there could possibly be buyers over here. I mean, this wick, this is a lot of like buying pressure here. But we're still below. this flag. So until we get above this 51.28, we're still, you know, bearish here. So this is definitely a potential rejection. And this is 51.28. Yeah, so 52.6, that's where the rejection is here. Let's take a look at some of the lower time frames. All right, they fell through the 200 MA yesterday on the 4-hour, but they kind of brought it back up. But yeah, and then they got, yeah, this is a little bearish here. Let's look at the 1-hour. Still below the 200 MA. Yeah, so I'm seeing some more bearish sentiment with SQQQ, a little bit more bullish sentiment just based on price action and where everything is at. But it's definitely better to get, or it's a better view between our 8 and 9ish, between 8 and 9 EST time in the mornings, because we can see more movement around that time. I want to take a look at Apple. All right, so this 124.17, what we fell to, I remember this support area, and it's kind of been coming up since it did push through this 130. Now it's at 132, coming back down, testing 200 MA as support. I do like the way this slow RSI looks. Look at this, low, higher, higher, even higher. Yeah, 4-hour, definitely, that it looks like it's got some momentum coming in. You can even kind of see like a bullish flag forming here. And I like to look at Apple to see what the strength is at Apple, because a lot of times Apple follows SPY. So if Apple's showing some strength, and I do see strength in equities, it kind of helps me with, you know, alignment to see if it's all, you know, looking the same. And I actually do see a little bit of bullish sentiment here with Apple, because even though we fell here, we broke this 130 wall. This was a pretty tough resistance. You could see the last time we hit here, it was kind of like a fake out, and we went shoo and came all the way back down to 124. But then once we started moving up again, we kind of created this W pattern here. Then we broke the wall. Now we're pulling back, but it does appear that they could be testing this 130 now as new support. Because remember, it was resistance prior. Rejection, 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 and then they finally broke. So once the wall breaks, as you know, as resistance, then it will generally come back down and test that new area as support, just like with SQQQ, right? In the opposite way. It fell through this support here. This was the support. As you can see, it was holding it here, here. But then finally it fell through. Now it would come back up and test the same level as new resistance. So right now, from what I can see, just based on price action and where levels are currently, we still are in a good place, even though we had a small, you know, reddish day yesterday, but it didn't do too much damage. I would like to see us pick up again today. Based on price action, that's what it appears. But we will see. We'll see when the market opens, and hopefully this helps you guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning, tomorrow morning.